Hey, peace to you, family. Hey, I just want to bring something out really quickly, right? And it has to do with Sunday worship. You know, a lot of people worship on different days, right? Some on Saturday, some on Sunday, and I'm gonna bring out for you the origins of these different worship days, right? But first, we're gonna go to the Bible and see what the Most High has to say about the Sabbath, right? So if you go to Exodus chapter 20. Excuse me. You go to Exodus chapter 20, starting at the 11th verse, it reads, starting at the 8th verse. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. This is the Most High speaking, by the way, right? When he came down onto Mount Sinai to speak with Moses and the children of Israel. Exodus chapter 20, verse 8, it says, Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Most High thy power. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Most High made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Most High blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it, right? So look, if you got a calendar, or if you got Google, and you can follow along with me here, right? On this calendar, my phone sucks, alright? So it's going to be reversed for you. You see how it's reversed? I don't know how to alter that in my settings, but pull up a calendar on your phone, right? You see here? What's that? Sunday. That's day 1. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Sunday, Monday. So, why is it that Christians and a lot of people worship on the first day of the week? How did that ordinance come to be? And why is it that people are worshiping on Sunday, which is the first day of the week, obviously? This is the Gregorian calendar. This was instituted in Rome, right? Thousands of years ago, around the 1st century AD, right? I'm sorry, like I mentioned, if you're just coming in, I mentioned that my camera reverses the image for whatever reason. I got to figure that out. But you can obviously see here that Sunday is the first day of the week, right? And as we just read in Exodus, it says that the Sabbath is on the 7th day, right? So look, if you go to Psalms 89, at the 34th verse, the Most High says, My covenant will I not break, nor alter the thing that is gone out of my lips. Meaning nothing that he ever speaks comes back or returns to him. He doesn't change in any way, right? Like once he says it, that's it, right? Now, where did the institution of Sunday worship come from, right? I got this book here. It's called Finding Peace Within, a book for people in need, right? I don't even know how I came by the way of this. I think my sister gave this to me. She said some guy approached her in the street and gave it to her. But a lot of crucial information here. But I'm going to read out of this. It's called Finding Peace Within. On page 161, at the bottom of page 161, it says, but most Christians observe Sunday rather than Sabbath. When did this change take place? Note, early in the 4th century AD, the Emperor Constantine issued a decree making Sunday a public festival throughout the Roman Empire, the Venerable Day of the Sun, S-U-N Day. Sunday was reverenced by his pagan subjects and was honored by some Christians. It was the emperor's policy to unite the conflicting interests of heathenism and Christianity, right? He was urged to do this by the bishops of the church who were inspired by ambition and thirst for power, and perceived that if the same day was observed by both Christians and heathen, it would promote the nominal acceptance of Christianity by pagans and thus advance the power and glory of the church, right? So, essentially, Emperor Constantine in the 4th century, in 325 AD, he sent a decree out into all of Rome that stated that every person, for the sake of the empire, would worship on Sunday to keep it all together for work's sake, for harvest's sake, because maybe like half your empire is choosing not to work Friday night to Saturday night, right? And that constitutes a day in the Bible, which I'll read in Genesis in just a second, right? That's a day actually starts, according to the Bible, at night, right? So when the sun goes down, that's the very beginning of a day, according to the Bible, right? So we'll find that the Sabbath starts here, Friday night to Saturday night, right? Again, if you're just, checking this out, you can see that Sunday on any calendar is the first day of the week. And there's 7 days in a week, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Anyways, Emperor Constantine, he put the decree out for the sake of his empire. And these so-called Christians, right, you got to understand that Jerusalem was destroyed in 70 AD, and a lot of the people that that the Romans went against in that time, you got to do your own research. I'm here to try to keep it as simple, as concise as I can, but a lot of these people, the Jews, were black folks. They were ran out of their home, right, and made slaves. And it would have been similar to what we have in America here, right? We have two nations of people living and working together, and with different ideologies, views, and whatever. So these Christians, that they call them, it was a derogatory term for the Jews, for the disciples of Christ, those who followed his teachings. And Christ had passed away 300 years prior, right? So anyways, we're gonna go back to this book. Okay, if you're just coming in, it's called Finding Peace Within, right? And we're gonna take, this is straight from the horse's mouth. So if we go back to this book, it's called Finding Peace Within, and I don't even see a author here, but that's irrelevant at this point. But it says Catholicism Speaks, right? Again, for some reason my camera mirrors the image, unfortunately, but it says Catholicism Speaks. And here we have a couple quotes from different heads and people in the Catholic Church, and here's what they have to say about Sunday worship, right? Sunday is a Catholic institution, and it claims to observance can be defended on Catholic principles. From beginning to end of Scripture, there is not a single passage that warrants the transfer of weekly public worship from the last day of the week to the first. The Catholic Press, Sydney, Australia, August 1900. All right, let's read a couple more of these. And this is like I said, this is from the horse's mouth. This is the Catholic Church telling you that they changed it, right? For whatever end. And if you read again in Psalms, the 89th chapter, in the 34th verse, the Most High says, "My covenant will I not break, nor alter the thing that is gone out of my lips." No, his words never come back to him. He doesn't say anything and take it back, right? He's not like that, right? So look, here's another one. It is well to remind the Presbyterians, the Baptists, the Methodists, and all other Christians that the Bible does not support them anywhere in their observance of Sunday. Sunday is an institution of the Roman Catholic Church, and those who observe the day observe a commandment of the Catholic Church, right? The great whore, one of the beasts written of in Revelations, right? That deceived the whole world. Right? And Christ said, "Be careful that no man deceive you." Right? So, and here's another one. If Protestants would follow the Bible, they should worship God on the Sabbath day. In keeping the Sunday, they are following the law of the Catholic Church. Albert Smith, Chancellor of the Archdiocese of Baltimore, replying for the Cardinal in a letter dated February 10th, 1920. And here, I'll read one more, okay? Protestants accept Sunday rather than Saturday as the day for public worship after the Catholic Church made the change. But the Protestant mind does not seem to realize that. In observing the Sunday, they are accepting the authority of the spokesman of the church, the Pope, right? So in Catholicism, they claim that Pope is, the father of the people. And it even says, I think in the book of Matthew, that we should call no man on earth father, right? But anyways, yeah, they did a number and they tricked people. So people are worshiping on the venerable day of the sun, which they're actually giving credence, or not credence, they're venerating the sun. It's sun worship, and even that gets into Luciferianism and all types of dark stuff, right? So if you really do your research on the Catholic Church, I'm not going to do all that tonight. You'll find that it's a satanic institution, and they have a lot of clandestine factions in there, like the Jesuits and different people like that, who establish how the rest of the world is to worship, right? They're tricking people, getting everybody sent to hell right along with them, right? So God's going to require this at their hands and yours. He's going to ask you, why didn't you keep my Sabbath, right? If you're sitting there going to church on Sunday and jumping up and down in the pews with a tambourine, acting a fool, you know what I'm saying, claiming the Holy Spirit, It's obviously, it's very obvious, right? Look on your calendar. Again, first day of the week is Sunday. We're in day 1 today, right? 6 days shalt thou labor until we get here. And one day, again, is constituted as an evening to the next evening, according to Genesis. Let's see if I can find it. If any of the brothers and sisters watching this right now got the verse off the top, I'd really appreciate it. You just, throw that up there in the chat, or however this live works. But I believe it's chapter 1 in Genesis, after God made light, right? And God, let's start. This is chapter 1, the book of Genesis, verse 3. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness He called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day, right? So one day was constituted from the evening and the morning, right? So, come on, people. Let's get it going. All right, put down the Sunday worship. Ask your pastor about it. And, keep the Sabbath. Because, again, Exodus 20, from verses 8 to 11, the Most High commands us to keep it in the 10 Commandments, right? So, anyways, this is a little piece of history for you. Do some research. Again, I'm like LeVar Burton, baby. Don't take my word for it. Google these things, right? Emperor Constantine, 325 AD, when he sent the decree out for the sake of keeping his kingdom together, because the Christians, the Jews, were disrupting everything with their worships. The workflow was being stagnated, and things weren't working in cohesion. So he made everybody worship Satan on the first day of the week. Right? Peace to you.